If re-elected, can you name one specific initiative you will be focused on that will directly benefit your constituents in Lawrence County?
Great question. Tax cuts, tax cuts, tax cuts. We're going to continue to cut taxes in South Carolina because that is something that impacts every single one in this room. We have a lot of work to do. I already talked about the Income Tax Reduction Act that we passed. We're going to continue getting that income tax down to 0% over the next few years. And again, I want to start working on the property tax front of things. And Florida, I think a lot of people are looking at what Florida does. They've been working on this for a year. I think they're getting close to revealing their plan. I want to take that plan. I want to see if we can tweak it, apply it to South Carolina, get our property taxes down as well, and that will help everyone in this room.
Rick, the question that was in your basket says, when you are out on the campaign trail, what are some of the most common issues that people are talking about?
Well, there are many issues. Of course, the roads, property tax, they're at the top of the list. But the thing that really surprises me the most is a lot of them, they don't know who their state representative is. So what I plan to do when I am a representative is I'm going to have at least twice a year town hall meetings around the county. And that will give people an opportunity to meet their representative and discuss questions they have and concerns they have. And I'll even invite some of the other legislative members, maybe our state senator, maybe some of the county council members, and we can just listen to folks and see what they want to do.
The question is, why has funding not been provided for the Lawrence County Agricultural Building?
This might be my second favorite question tonight because I have actually really big news in this front. It's almost official, but I've helped secure $1 million in funding for the Lawrence County Ag Center. This will be official once the Senate and the House meet in conference committee at the beginning of June. Maryland, we got to be working on this from the Farm Bureau standpoint, but we are very close. It passed out of Ways and Means. Ways and Means controls all the money in the state. And I talked to our Senator Danny Verdon. He's pushing it in the Senate. But I led this effort. I was glad to work with Andy Howard with the Parks and Rec Department in the county. We've been working on this for the last several months, and we're almost there. So $1 million coming to the Ag Center. That's going to help us almost complete that building. And I'll tell you this, if I get reelected, we're going to keep on trying to get more funding for the Ag Center because Ag is huge in Lawrence County. We got to make sure we back up our farmers. And I will say this, if you haven't been out to the Ag Center, it is one of the most premier Ag sites in the entire state. We have people from Kentucky, we have groups from Georgia, North Carolina, Tennessee, bringing their school groups here, doing their 4-H things here. It's incredible. And it's going to look even more spectacular once we get that horse arena completely fixed. They're going to do all kinds of crazy stuff out there. And so ag, it's awesome, and we're very excited.
Okay, Rick, here's a question for you. What's your approach to law enforcement funding and support? And what do you think, and I can't read this next word, something and first responders in Lawrence County need from their state rep? What is that word right there? Law enforcement, okay. Law enforcement and first responders.
Well, something that's very important to me is supporting our first responders. You know, I feel like in many ways we've neglected our first responders. So when I'm elected, what I'm going to do is work with other legislators excuse me, to see if we can pass a bill to eliminate income tax on the first responders' income from the state. We currently do not tax military pay. We do not tax Social Security. We should not tax retirement pay of first responders. This includes law enforcement, firefighters, prison guards, Also, the dispatch people. These are people that deal with trauma and difficult situations every day of their lives, and I feel like the state owes that to them to help them with in their retirement. But also, it will help with recruitment and retaining law enforcement and first responders. So that's what I propose to do.
Luke, these are redistricting questions, okay? All right, I'm gonna read them both because they're about the same, but I'm gonna maybe something in one that's not in the other. What specific input did you have on the map, and why do you think it's good for Lawrence County to be lumped in with Greenville, which is leaning purple, I think is what that says. And then the other question is, what are your thoughts on the new redistricting map the South Carolina Senate proposed today that puts Lawrence County back into District 3?
Yeah, man, this has been honestly probably the most exciting past 2 weeks, 3 weeks. As soon as the Supreme Court's Calais decision came down, it completely changed the entire landscape of how states can draw their congressional lines. Basically, the Supreme Court said you can't draw congressional lines based on race. And so that's what we really have in the 6th congressional district right now. Jim Clyburn has really benefited from a gerrymandered district for many years. And so that decision completely changed the landscape, and now we get to draw new lines. And it is going to change Lawrence County's, where we are. We're going to be in the 4th versus the 3rd. And that would be different. I will say, I think a lot of people in Lawrence County actually kind of associate themselves with Greenville. We shop up that way, so I don't think it'd be a lot of, a big change in that respect. But what's really awesome about the new map is every single district is going to be at least a plus 11 for Republicans. So what that basically means is if you put up one Republican against one random Democrat, Republican has a much better shot, a plus 11. So he's going to probably win that district 55, 44, something like that. And so that's the closest one it would be, and that would be the 6th congressional district. So everyone's not going to be happy with everything with how the lines are drawn, and that's just the nature of politics. You have 46 counties, you have 170 representatives and senators. They all have their own ideas of where things need to be. But this is bigger than South Carolina, guys. This is about the trajectory of our country. Do we want the last 2 years of Trump's presidency completely handcuffed? Do we want the impeachment rhetoric to start up? I don't think anyone in this room wants that to happen. And so this is bigger than us in South Carolina. I think overall it's a pretty great map. The National Redistricting Republican Trust up in D.C. was working with us with this map, and I think it's going to be a great win for not only South Carolina, but the country as well.
Okay, Rick, and this will be our last question of the evening. If elected, how will you stay in touch and communicate with your constituents? You sort of already answered that. Do you want me to?
Right. The town halls, I think, are important. Like I said, I plan on doing it at least twice a year around the county, but also through social media and emailing. Of course, I will communicate with any constituent that wants to talk by phone. So I will be available pretty much around the clock because I'm going to be a full-time legislator. Many of those down there are part-time legislators, and I think I'll have an advantage by being a full-time legislator.
Okay, what a great night. This has been absolutely wonderful. And we're going to do the closing statements now. This has been a great night. I think I've learned a lot from the candidates, and I hope you have too. So, Luke, you started with the questions, is that right? Okay. He was first. So we'll start with Rick in doing his closing statement. Starts by closing argument. Maybe I want to go to law school.
Okay. Well, I've really enjoyed this evening. I appreciate everyone coming. And again, thank you for doing everything you've done, Valerie, tonight. I know it's a lot of work. You know, our founders founded this country on for the people, by the people, and other people. But unfortunately, over the decades, down there in Columbia, it's become of the elite, for the elite, and by the elite. We need to push back against that, and that's what I intend to do. We need conservative leadership in Columbia, someone who will push back and not be a yes man down there in Columbia, somebody who will represent District 14 and not have a higher political calling in mind that they want to pursue. So I will work for you. I will work for you every day, and I think you'll see great things. My experience in business on the farm has taught me how to work hard. So you can count on me to be there for you. Thank you.
I agree with Valerie. What a night. It was fantastic. And I'm honored to be here. You know, I ran for office because I have a calling on my life from not any one person, but from God above. And I believe that He wanted me to run, and it's been amazing to see how He's carried me every step of the way. It's like when you say yes to the Lord, He opens up every door, and every door just kind of opens up. It's amazing. And so I've been honored to lead House District 14 for the last 2 years. And we're not done yet, guys. There's so much work that is yet to be done, and I just can't wait to see what God has for this country. He's not done with us yet. I think that was very evident when He spared President Donald J. Trump's life. Not once, not twice, but 3 times He saved his life. And so He's not done with us yet here either. And our mission here is to fight for South Carolina, to fight for our country, to fight for our kids. Because this is the last stand of freedom in the entire world. And so I would be honored to have your vote. I want to continue fighting for South Carolina and the American dream. Thank you all very much. God bless.
Let's have another round of applause for all of our candidates. What a great job they all did. I want to remind you that we have candidate booths set up over here. Please go by and speak to the candidates, and I think some of them brought some yard signs if you haven't gotten yours yet and you would like one, and they may have some other materials. So let's take about 15 minutes for some more meet and greet, and then we'll be on our way. Thank you so much, folks.